visit our booth so that you know that Advantech is a supplier of industrial automation. I'm the product sales manager for IO control and also business development manager for IoT applications. Advantech is a company developing and manufacturing of industrial PCs, communication and data acquisition for industrial automation. We have a very wide product portfolio and we try to make product combinations to have applications, complete solutions in vertical industries. We are not aiming for all vertical industries, but on certain vertical industries. Today we're going to talk about Industry 4.0. Let's start with focus. IoT, Internet of Things. That's a major marketing term these days. Everyone is talking about IoT. All the computer vendors, all the software vendors, and all the industrial automation vendors are using IoT as a marketing umbrella to sell their solutions. Also Advantech is using IoT. We are aiming for smart city, applications in the city, and we are aiming for smart factory, and that's also part of Industry 4.0. So for us, Industry 4.0 is part of smart factory. For us, we are using both Industry 4.0, that's a common name, but also smart factory. It's a little bit depending on the country. In some countries they are talking only about smart factory, like in Spain, and in other countries they are talking about Industry 4.0. Let's talk about Industry 4.0. What does it mean, Industry 4.0? It was invented by Siemens. Siemens came up with the name Industry 4.0, and now everyone is using it. It stands for the fourth generation in industrial automation. The fourth generation after the three we had already, and now we are in the middle of, let's call it the fourth generation. It's really consumer driven. Consumers are driving what producers are doing. Consumers are asking for just in time, on demand, personalized marketing, configurable products, shorter life cycles, regulations is also driving Industry 4.0, and I think the most important ones, energy savings is driving Industry 4.0, waste control of course, and very important, the technology is there. We now have the products, the technology to really talk about the fourth generation. Maybe you know the graph, connected devices. It's growing really fast. Everything is connected now. If you can see the numbers, up to 50 billion in 2020, and it will even go higher, the number of connected devices. It's all about getting data out of our processes. Smart data at the right time for analyzing and for improving our production site. So we are talking about condition-based monitoring, machine benchmarking, important remote services. Of course, everyone is already talking about it, and now it's also part of Industry 4.0. And very important, predictive maintenance. Predictive maintenance, I'll explain a little bit later what it is, but it means that we are not doing periodically maintenance, but we are reacting on what the machine is doing. When the machines are asking for maintenance, then we are reacting. Industry 4.0, yeah, it stands for smart products, smart processes, and smart environment. And it's not limited to industry, to the factory, to the smart factory. But what you can see here is that it's all connected to each other. It's not only limited to the factory, to the core process of the customer, but also everything around it. If you look to a factory, we are talking about water, wastewater, we are talking about steam, power and energy, we're talking about security, all the factory plant, but also we're talking about logistics, about everything around it, the selling process of the customer. That's all part of smart city, smart factory, and Industry 4.0. Here you can see an example. We have already the install base. Customers are producing their goods. This is in place. We have the machinery and we have the controls on it. And now we want to get smart data, just in time, real-time data. We want to get it out of the machinery, to analyze it, and to react on it. For instance, if a production line is not running fast, we need that information to improve it right away. And not waiting for a week or a month. No, we need that production, we need the numbers, we need the output. So we want to react now. Also with predictive maintenance, if something is going wrong, we need that information right now to react, to improve, and to continue our production. That's all about smart factory industry 4.0. Getting the right data out of the production facilities at the right moment. Most important driver, of course, is cost saving, higher performance, higher output, and less waste. Here you can see an example of the processing data which people want to have out of their production site. This is really MES data which you can get out of your production site to analyze and to react in the controlling of your production site. Advantech is providing all the equipment and the software to do this, to help people building up applications, getting the data out of their lines, react, analyze, and all, of course, improve. That's all about Industry 4.0. And again, Advantech is focusing especially on that part of the factory. That means that we are not focusing on the core process of the customer, like a PLC controller or like motion control, but we are focusing on all the processes around it, and especially on MES, and of course factory IT, the connection from the shop floor to the IT level. That's where we are focusing on. Energy management, specific facilities around the core process of the customer, machine vision, and test and measurement. Those are focus areas within Industry 4.0 for Advantech. Here you can see an example of MES. MES means the data, getting the data out of the production site to react and to analyze. How good is your production site? The scheduling part. If I have multiple lines, how can I schedule all the lines that they are producing optimum? All those kind of information is part of MES. Another part of MES is OEE. That means that if I have multiple production lines, I want optimum performance of those lines to get the maximum output. But sometimes you need maintenance for one line. That means that the other lines need to run faster. And that's all about OEE. Measuring how much time can I produce, how much maintenance do I have, and how can I divide the production over the other lines. That's all about OEE. And another thing is predictive maintenance. That's growing really fast. Normally, in the older days, maintenance people were every week or every month doing their maintenance things. And now we are going to react on the question of the machinery. That sounds strange, but when a machinery is vibrating more than normal, we know that something is going to happen. If a conveyor belt is running slower, we know that there is a problem. That's all predictive maintenance. For that, you need a lot of extra data out of your machinery, analyze the data, and react on that data. And that's, again, part of MES, part of Industry 4.0. Let's talk about the technologies behind it. We now talked about general what is Industry 4.0. Now we're going more deeply into the product solutions. And that's all about Advantech. We are offering product solutions for our customers, system integrators who are implementing the total solution. So we are building and giving the building blocks to build MES applications, and our customers, system integrators, are building the total and implementing it at the factory site. Now here you can see some solutions in the field. Core processing, high performance processing for motion control solutions, high performance platform for vision. We are not selling complete vision solutions, but the platform to support it. Our customers, vision experts, are building the complete solution, implementing it on a machine, and doing the complete installation. Also HMI control. In this case, it's a box PC combined with an industrial monitor, or here you can see the touch panel computers. All industrial grade products to support everything around Industry 4.0, MES, and everything I told before. People who were on our booth have seen it probably. Indoor technology. One of the major product lines we have is the Uno series. It's an industrial PC, starting with Celeron or Atom or Xkill up till Core i7, and then fanless Core i7 in an industrial grade. -40 up to 70 degrees, so a very wide temperature range to control processes, to get data out of your line, to do protocol conversion. That's all for general computing purposes. In this series, and not only limited to this series, also in other product series, we now have IOR technology. It's a mini PCIe slot where you can add field bus modules like Profinet, Ethernet, PowerLink, where you can add wireless modules, additional memory modules. It's a standardized slot, and we are using it in all our platforms. Here you can see some examples supporting field buses which can get data out of the existing lines. There's a lot of Profibus, Profinet, Ethernet IP existing already, and we can connect to it with this system and get the data out of the machines and out of the production lines. Also to do that, you need a lot of I/O modules. Of course, there's an existing control system, like a PLC controller, but we can add additional modules to get data out of the process. With that data, you are connecting over a gateway to your system to do the analysis and to react on that analysis. Again, MES solutions. New products are, we call it IoT-enabled products. It's helping IT people. This is the new generation of I/O products. And what is new? It is supporting HTML5, it's supporting Java, it's supporting all the browsers there are. It's got a data logger inside, very important for IT people. In a traditional controller, you get data, temperature for instance, as a raw number. And then you need to convert it to the real process value, to the real temperature. This product can do that for you. That means that you connect the temperature sensor, and this module can convert it to the real data, the real temperature. There's a web browser built in, so it's very easy to connect over your network. That can be wireless or it can be wired to your I/O module and get direct the data out of it that you want to see. And then put it again in your system, analyze it and react on it. This is for the small I/O count, and this one is for the bigger I/O count. This is also the same functionality. It's got a data logger built in, a web browser built in, supporting many systems, many browsers. And very nice to know, configuring can be done by your smartphone, by an app. So we have an app where you can configure your module, your controller. This controller can also be used as a controller. That means controlling outputs. So this has also got functionality inside. Here's an example what it can do. It's got two mini PCIe slots, and here you can also do protocol converting. What does that mean? In the field I have sensors that can be wireless over Zigbee protocol. So I get all the data out of the field, and then via GPRS or Wi-Fi I connect to another system, like an MES system. That's functionality which we are building in this product. Another example of getting data out of the line and doing also control, that's called linear PC control. On the left side you see a typical PLC which controls machinery or processes. It's got, for instance, Siemens, this is a Siemens one. It's always proprietary hardware and software. That means you need to buy everything at one vendor. A disadvantage of PLC is that they have limited communications, limited processing power, and limited memory. And you can only do the standard IEC 61131 programming languages. And that's a disadvantage for especially IT people who wants to get data out of the line and control things in the line. Now, if you look to a digital PC controller, what Advantech is offering is purely an open industrial PC. Open industrial PC combined with modular I/O modules to get data out of the line. Open industrial PC means you can do everything which you want to do. You can run multiple applications, you can run multiple communication ports. It's extensive communication, extensive processing power. It's got a lot of memory, much more than a traditional PLC. And of course, it's an open PLC. That means you can run a soft PLC, or you can run Java, .NET, whatever you want to control your application and to control the data going to a higher system. And here you can see the high-end digital PC controller. It's based on Core i7. We've got multiple versions, but it is a fanless Core i7 process controller. It can, of course, get data out of your line, but it can also do video combined with control. Because of the power, it's got a lot of processing power. Video images combined with standard control and standard I/O over one network. That's possible with this system. It also got process functionality, which the process people like to see. Like a redundant processor, redundant I/O, redundant power supply. It's got a UPS module, and it's got also the iDoor technology supporting all the field buses there are. So this is a very flexible, universal system, high performance, to control your lines or your machinery and to get data out of your lines and send it to a higher system. When you're talking about open PC technology, like Advantech is doing, you also need an application. If you have a standard laptop and you want to write a letter, you need Microsoft Office to do that. Also for controlling, you need an application. You need a soft PLC to run your I/O, to get inputs out of the field and to control motors and conveyors and outputs. Now therefore we are using Codesys. Codesys is a German company and it's the worldwide standard for soft PLC. It's based about the IEC 61131 standard programming languages, and nearly everyone is using it. It's widely used in industrial automation. You can see the names, and they are all using Codesys internally to control, to do their controls. It's like a PLC, but then based on an open PC platform. Very interesting to know, the business model of Codesys is that the vendor is paying for the development of it. So it means that the customer is not paying anything for the licenses. Also the programming environment is for free. So the customer has a big benefit out of this. And it's very easy to switch between one controller and another one. It's a big benefit of Codesys. Another big benefit, and this is really a good benefit, is that visualization is built in. So it's got built-in local HMI and it's got built-in web browser-based HMI. And that's using the same database. So to keep it simple, you have one controller, one database running into that controller, and that's also for your HMI. In all other cases, you have multiple databases. That means that right now, if you're working with PLC, you have a database in your PLC, you have a database in your HMI, and you have a database in your remote SCADA system. And now you have just one database. That means that every tag you need to enter once, just once, and you can reuse it in all other applications. And here you can see an example of a complete controlling system, and also with the ability to get data out of your system, and also to do your HMI. Now here you can see that this is an open industrial PC, so it's very easy. Over the VGA port, you can connect a monitor and do your local HMI. That can be in a touchscreen, it can be a widescreen, whatever, that can be multi-touch. And here you can see over the web browser based, you can also do the same remote HMI. And that's also based on the same database, just one database in that digital PC control. So this is a big benefit using Codesys into your application. Then we're talking about web access. Advantech is a hardware producer. We are producing hardware combinations to have complete solutions for our customers to build up solutions. Now we also have web access, and that's a software framework, a software toolbox to build up applications. That can be in the IoT, that can be in the smart city, that can be in the factory, that can be in facilities, that can be everywhere. It's just a toolbox with a lot of software modules which you can use to build up applications. If you look to the framework of it, it's got a lot of modules. It is 100% web-based. You can use whatever web browser you want. You can use whatever operating system you want. It's got an extensive network capability. It's supporting many things. It's supporting multitouch. You can do your SCADA. You can do analysis of it. It's got reporting functionality. Even redundancy is possible. You can use it for very small applications, but also for very big applications. It's completely scalable. You can see that this is an extensive system. Means that you can separate all your servers. In that case, you have multiple SCADA nodes. You have the project node where the engineering is running. You have the central database. But the good thing is that you can also run it on one small box PC, for instance. If you have the Uno, the small box PC with Windows 7, you can run all these modules on the same PC, the same platform. And then you can run smaller applications. Here you can see some standard software functionality. It's got some standard dashboards to show your data. You can use standards, or you can program yourself, or you can adjust it very simply. It's got a database supplying a big library with all kinds of components you can use in your application. So again, standard dashboards for showing MES data, or building up your complete own application with your own graphics. That's also possible, and it will run on all kinds of hardware platforms. It will run on Android, on your smartphone, on your pad. It can run on a Windows 7 system. And here you can see all kinds of functionality built in. Google Maps, for instance, multi-touch, all kinds of functionality are supported. Here you can see how it works. It's got a widget library with standard widgets. It's got a widget builder where you can make your own applications based on your own process. It's got the dashboard editor where you can build up your own dashboard to show the data that you want to see. And it can be any kind of data, MES data, OEE data, predictive maintenance data, process analysis data, and any data can be shown here in your way you want to see it. And of course the dashboard viewer, which runs on multiple hardware platforms. Excel report functionality. It's got built-in Excel reports, and of course you can communicate both ways to Excel and back into the system. So you can use standard Excel for your applications. And here's an example of a report, just a report built by a customer, showing data into an Excel sheet. Remote device monitoring, also very important. If you have multiple systems running in your application, you also want to know the health of your system. The temperature in your hardware, for instance, how good is your processor running, the watchdog of your processor, even the possibility to download your firmware or your image back to your system. That's also built in web access to support all the hardware you are running. And here, all the platforms which are supported by web access, and also a small overview of Advantech platforms. It's the touch panel computer. It's the general purpose touch panel computer line we have, BBC series. It's the industrial servers based on Xeon or based on Intel, whatever the customer needs. The standard box PCs, in this case the Uno series, in all kinds of platforms. When you're running Windows 7, you can combine everything on one small box PC. And here you see the digital PC controllers, much more on the process side, based on PLC type of I/O. combined with an open industrial PC. And it's also supporting web access. Web access to build up your own application. And here you can see the positioning of Advantech products. I talked about web access, I talked about code assist, and here you can see the positioning while there is an overlap. When I'm talking about the machine level, your machine, you can also do it with a small digital PC controller based on code assist. I explained to you that there's HMI built in. So when you have a small digital PC with code assist, you can do the complete application with just one system. That's where code assist is positioned. If you have multiple remote locations where you want to get data out of the field and you want to process that data, you want to do something with the data, then web access, the software toolkit, is used. Web access is not for controlling machine level. Of course, you can just start and stop some motors or some things, but it's not intended for controlling machines, packaging machine or whatever, but it is much more for getting the data out of the field, analyze it, have it in a nice graph, have it on your mobile. That's where web access should be positioned. I'm doing quite well in time. Sorry, yeah, Industry 4.0, I think it's a big challenge. It's ongoing, it's happening right now. The technology is supporting it, and we as Advantech are trying to have all the latest technology implemented in our hardware and supporting our customers, building up the latest Industry 4.0 projects. AW is offering the Advantech portfolio, is supporting it, and we are helping AW to help you building up applications based on Advantech hardware and software. And of course, please feel free to visit our booth. We are here with a booth with many examples. And of course, you can also contact AW when you have any questions. We are really looking forward to work with you. Wait. Any questions? Yeah, that's a good question. If you have sensors, that's a question. We are from the automation division, and with the embedded core division, we are also working on board level computing. And there we are developing sensors, temperature sensors, humidity sensors, and then connecting it directly to the cloud. That's also a division of Advantech. That's just in the starting phase, but within a certain time frame we will come up with sensors. Good question. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you very much.